The recent race at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya marked a significant turning point for the Mercedes team. After facing challenges and struggling to match the performance of the dominant Red Bull team in the early part of the season, there seems to be a glimmer of hope on the horizon. The question arises, are Mercedes' gloomy days behind them? Will they be able to challenge Red Bull? Let's take a closer look at these. The Spanish Grand Prix held significant importance for the Formula One landscape in 2023. Following a series of street circuits, the return to a more traditional track layout offered insights into the true power balance between Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez in their title fight. Additionally, it provided an opportunity to gauge any shifts in the competitive order as teams introduced updates to their cars. At the forefront, Verstappen continued his dominant form, leading every single lap en route to his 5th victory in 7 races. His commanding performance showcased his exceptional skills and further solidified his position as the frontrunner. However, his Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez struggled to recover and could only manage a 4th place finish. As a result, the gap between them in the championship standings widened to 53 points. The chances of Perez mounting a significant challenge for the title appeared increasingly slim, even if he were to win the next 7 races, while Verstappen finished second each time. Nevertheless, the most significant talking point post-race revolved around the Mercedes duo of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, who finished comfortably in 2nd and 3rd place respectively. The race marked a notable moment for Mercedes, not just in the context of the current season, but also in terms of the technical rules that have shaped Formula One in recent years. Since the major car design overhaul in 2022, Mercedes has struggled to match the dominance of the Red Bull team, putting an end to their 8 consecutive championship winning streak. Their dismal performance last season underscored the need for a change in direction. Over the winter, Mercedes worked diligently to improve their car, aiming to reclaim their status as a force to be reckoned with in Formula One. The early rounds of the current season exposed the gap between Mercedes and Red Bull, forcing the team to battle Aston Martin and Ferrari for points. This awakening prompted Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff to admit the necessity for a new design direction, stating, "I think we just needed the shock at the start of the season to see that this design is not going forward." Recognizing the limited performance gains from their existing approach, the team redoubled their efforts to push forward and explore new possibilities. The Spanish Grand Prix showcased a promising turnaround for Mercedes. Both Hamilton and Russell spoke positively about the improvements in the car's performance, signaling a renewed sense of confidence. Hamilton described it as the best the car has been in the past year and a half, hinting at their progress. After a disappointing qualifying session on Friday, George Russell harbored little hope of securing a podium finish as he prepared for Sunday's race. However, his mindset quickly shifted as he took to the track in Barcelona, piloting a car that responded flawlessly to his every command. When asked if a podium was on his to-do list when he woke up on Sunday morning, he admitted, "No, to be honest, but I definitely had confidence we could move forward." The race pace was really strong this weekend with these new updates. I was very disappointed last night with the qualifying result, but I think it's proof that you just need to keep on believing. And today was a new day with new opportunities. I went out there, ticked all the boxes, the car was fast, good overtakes, and a really enjoyable race. There is still a long way to go for the team to catch up to Red Bull's lofty standards, but Russell explained that the change of side pods are not the main reason behind Mercedes' sudden improvement in form this weekend. Russell said it's not the side pods that make the difference. It may be a factor, but the magic isn't in the side pods. And we brought that design to the car to kind of rule it out, the side pods, but the magic was done underneath the car on the floor, and they're the same for every single team. I'm sure Red Bull could put those side pods on their car and they'd still be the quickest. So yeah, a little bit more complex than that, but nevertheless, I'm really happy with the work all the team have done and validation that the steps we've made are steps in the right direction. Hamilton estimated after the race that Verstappen was still as much as half a second quicker per lap over the distance and even more over a single lap in qualifying. No matter how much optimism Mercedes can extract from the Spanish GP, the reality is Verstappen and Red Bull took home the biggest trophies. Russell stated, "We're not solely satisfied with P2 and P3. We've got our sights set right at the very top." Although Mercedes showed promising signs of progress during the Spanish Grand Prix, the prospect of consistently matching Red Bull's performance remains a realistic goal for the future, rather than the present. Lewis Hamilton acknowledged the sizable gap between the two teams, stating, "With the current car that we have, I don't think we'll be matching their performance. They're so far ahead, and ultimately Max will continue to win this year." However, Hamilton hinted at upcoming developments that could potentially bridge the gap. He alluded to something in the pipeline moving forward for the Mercedes car, expressing his hope that by the end of the year, they would be in a stronger position to challenge Red Bull's dominance. Max Verstappen, on the other hand, remained unfazed by Mercedes' progress, emphasizing the importance of focusing on their own continuous improvement. He stated, "They're improving, but from our side, it's not about being worried. We just have to focus on ourselves and try to keep on improving the car. At the moment, it all looks great, but you can't stand still in this world." Red Bull, aware that complacency is the enemy of success, will not rest on their laurels. While Barcelona marked another triumph for them, it also served as a significant moment for Mercedes in their quest to regain the pinnacle of Formula One. According to former Formula One driver Ralf Schumacher, Mercedes has the potential to become a thorn in Red Bull's side throughout the 2023 F1 season. With their very young and fresh W14 challenger, Schumacher believes Mercedes can continue refining their package and gradually close the gap to the dominant Red Bull team. Schumacher, who has competed for Jordan, Williams and Toyota, suggests that Mercedes may have more room for development compared to Red Bull and their RB19. This advantage could allow Mercedes to chip away at the deficit and pose a significant challenge to Red Bull's supremacy. However, the ability to make further progress also depends on the financial constraints imposed by the cost gap era in Formula One. Schumacher acknowledges that the extent of Mercedes' upgrades for 2023 will rely on the remaining budget they have available. In his Sky Germany column, Schumacher stated, "Mercedes has the best chance to annoy Verstappen here and there as the season goes on. The new car is now very young and fresh, so there will be some potential there. The question will be, how much money can Mercedes spend and put into further development? I think there's still more potential than at Red Bull. There will also be updates, but I could imagine that we'll soon see some really exciting races at the top again." So what does this sudden boost in Mercedes' performance mean for Aston Martin? After the race, Fernando Alonso admitted that the improved pace of Mercedes is a concern for Aston Martin. Alonso stated, "They are fast. They are a concern for us. They have been all year long. They are very consistent drivers as well. Ferrari has a very fast car, but they seem to score only with one car or have more trouble in the race. But Mercedes is always there, so they are a very tough competitor." Alonso had closed up behind teammate Lance Stroll in the closing stages in Barcelona on Sunday, but took to team radio to say he would not attack his colleague on track with comfortable points in the bag and no threats around them. But with P6 and P7 representing a fall from where they have been competing for much of the season so far, the Spaniard hopes to see a turnaround in form when Formula One resumes again in Montreal. Alonso said, "We didn't have the pace. I think we were not fast enough with the soft and not quick enough on the hards at the end. So I don't think it was a thing on the strategy or anything. It was just a lack of pace today. Let's see why and try to get better for Canada." As the season progresses, it will be fascinating to see how Mercedes utilizes their resources and capitalizes on the potential of their W14 challenger. We can't wait to see the thrilling battle between Mercedes and Red Bull as each team strives for supremacy on the Formula One grid. What's your thought about Mercedes' performance in Spain? Are they back? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.